Totoro boy!
Nowadays, the US appetite for role-playing video games is a mere sliver of the gaming industry pie. As a result, many foreign titles never make it stateside, meaning American RPG fans are often as much activists as they are gamers, fighting hard for each and every foreign game they deem worthy to be ported to the United States. Back in November 2011, there was a Japanese RPG called Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch that was released, and immediately it garnered a lot of international attention. For months we watched eagerly, studying every screenshot and gameplay video and salivating over the beautiful visuals that were designed by the famed Studio Ghibli. When word finally came that an English-language version was in the works, fans of both the RPG genre and the works of Studio Ghibli rejoiced. A special collector's edition called the Wizards Edition was also announced, which included a plush doll of the character Drippy, a massive hardcover companion book, and a special DLC. January 2013 could not come soon enough. Before the end of 2012, the limited quantities of the game's Wizards Edition had already sold out. Fans were saddened that so few were produced, but excitement only grew among those that managed to purchase it before supplies had run out. When January 2013 came at last, Namco Bandai announced that another, very limited batch of the game's Wizards Edition would be available for purchase directly on their website. At 10 a.m. on January 17th, a second pre-order opened and proceeded to sell out a mere few hours later. I was lucky enough to purchase the Wizards Edition for myself during that time. As someone who's been playing RPGs since age 5 and whose first animated movie was My Neighbor Totoro, it goes without saying that my enthusiasm for Ni no Kuni was immense. I checked my email every day after my pre-order, hoping to receive the shipping notification which Namco Bandai promised upon the game's release. January 22nd came and went, and still I heard nothing. I began to grow concerned. Surely they would have at least shipped the game on the release day, right? I scoured gaming forums, Namco Bandai's Facebook page, and the gaming sections on Reddit, and soon I found out that many others were just as concerned as I was. Those who had pre-ordered the game through Amazon.com promptly got it on the release day. Others still were going to their local game stores and picking it up with no problems. Why were some of the most dedicated fans who had shelled out over $100 for the game receiving absolutely no word on the status of their orders? On the 23rd, Namco Bandai posted a giveaway for a Wizards Edition of Ni no Kuni on their Facebook page. It was met with anger and bewilderment from the fans who still wondered about the status of the product for which they had paid. Many began to call customer service and inquire about the situation. They discovered that a company called Digital River was in charge of the distribution of the collector's edition, and the company remained mum about what was actually going on. On the 24th, the saga took a turn for the worse. Online communities flooded with news that hundreds of people were getting cancellation emails from Digital River stating that due to an error in their ordering system, they would not be sent their Wizards Edition and could not reorder it. Many of these people were those who had ordered their Wizards Edition all the way back in the summer of 2012, months before the game's release, and far before those like myself who utilized the January 17th Second Chance pre-order. Worse, even, some claim that the charges to their credit card remained, even though they would not be receiving the game which they had so looked forward to. Customers who had paid a premium for one-day shipping were also rightfully frustrated with the situation. Reports that a company called Play Canada was selling over 200 copies of the Wizards Edition of the game on eBay only further aggravated fans. At last, on the evening of January 24th, while browsing message boards and worrying that my Wizards Edition might still be snatched away from me, I received an email notification from Namco Bandai that my order had gone through. Right now I'm still awaiting arrival of the game, frustrated at the delays and a little bit disheartened that my excitement over the game has been quashed by the uncertainty that it would even get to me in the first place. Though Namco Bandai itself did not ship the Ni no Kuni Wizards Edition, they're still ultimately responsible for the distribution of their games into the hands of the fans, most especially those who forked over their hard-earned money well in advance to ensure they would get a copy of it. Digital River has exhibited a clear failure on many levels and should not be used as a distributor of the company's future titles. This entire situation has been a PR disaster that only serves to sully the release of what I'm sure will be an otherwise marvelous video game.